Hello and welcome back. I hope you all have joined your colleges and are attending your online lectures and have watched all my previous videos. So, after all the hustle of JEE and then college search and then counseling procedure, you might have felt a bit relieved for some time. But now you're in the college, and the college will never stop testing you. It will never stop presenting hurdles in the form of problems and doubts so that you can overcome them and develop in the process. And one such thing is the grading system. The grading system at a college is very different from that of school, which makes it very difficult for the freshers to understand initially. It's very confusing as to how marks are distributed, what is the weightage of every subject in the SGPA, and how are credits used in this process, and many more. So I am here to tell you everything that you need to know about grading system in order to quench your curiosity. Now, different colleges have different systems of grading, but in this video, I will only be telling you about NIT Rourkela because I am a student of NIT Rourkela. And almost all the grading systems are somewhat similar with some basic differences, which you can figure out by yourself. So, in NIT Rourkela, the grading system is based upon the credits. Here, in order to get a BTech degree, you need to complete around 160 to 170 credits in the 4 years of a BTech degree, and sometimes an additional period of 2 years is offered to academically weak students if the need be. Now, these credits are distributed over 4 years into 8 semesters and further into different subjects within the semester. This distribution is done by the departments themselves or the Senate from time to time, so the students do not have a say in this distribution process. Now each subject is given a certain amount of credit, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, which decides its weightage in the overall marks of a semester. So the whole 100 marks of a subject is divided into 3 parts: 30 marks for mid semester exams, 50 marks for end semester exams, and 20 marks as teachers' assessment, which is decided by the teachers themselves. There is a certain formula issued by the institution in order to calculate this TA marks, but a lot of teachers calculate this TA marks in their own criteria. So by the end, the total amount of marks that you will get in a subject in a semester will be a sum of the end semester marks, mid semester marks, and the TA marks. Now, for final grading, the total marks of each subject is multiplied by the subject's credit, and then all the products of the subject and its credit are summed up and then divided by the total number of credit in the semester. So suppose if the semester has 21 credits and it is distributed into say 5 subjects, then the total marks of all the subjects will be multiplied by its credits. The whole will be divided by 21. This will give your average marks for the semester, which can then be used for calculating SGPA, the semester grade point average. And the average of the SGPA of both the semesters in 1 year will give you the CGPA for that particular year. So in this way, the credits are used in calculating the total CGPA of a year. Now, apart from this, credits also decide certain more things. So the first is attendance. So the total number of absence that you can make in a particular subject in a particular semester without facing any consequences will be twice the credits which are allotted to that particular subject. So for a 4 grade subject, you can do 8 absence without any consequences. And then from 8 to 12, there is a grace period, after which you might face some consequences like grade backs or even you can get debarred. Second is number of classes. So the total number of classes that a subject will have in a week will be equal to the credit allotted to that particular subject. So a 4 grade subject will have 4 classes in a week. Now these classes can be a combination of theory plus tutorials or just theory classes. So overall, if you can complete 160 to 170 credits, whatever decided by your department, in the allotted amount of time with more than 6 SGPA in every semester and at least P grade, which is the passing grade in every subject, then you will be awarded the BTech degree. Now it's not that you won't get the degree if you do not complete all of these criteria, but the thing is that if you fail in one or more of these criteria, then you might have to face some consequences and bear some disadvantages while getting your degree. So this was the credit system for you, and here the grades are awarded on a scale of 10, which you can always convert into percentages. And this was a relatively short video because there's not much to the grading system, not much for you in the grading system because everything is taken care of by the departments themselves. It's just intriguing enough to make you curious, and that's true for a lot of things in college. You'll encounter a lot of things in college which might seem very sophisticated, very complex from the outside, but once you will get to know these things, you will realize that they were not so complex after all. You just needed to assess them rationally and in a quantized manner. So I've covered almost all of the topics that I thought a fresher should know while entering a college for the first time. But still, if you think that there are some things that I must address, then you can write them in the comment section below, or you can also message me on Instagram. The link to my Insta ID is in the description below. Also, share my videos with someone who might benefit from them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because a lot more content based on the college life will be coming in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for them and see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.